A late winter warm surge is spreading across parts of the Arabian Peninsula. Let's check it out. Hey guys, Fergus here with weathermapping.com. A late winter warm surge is building across northern and Gulf side Arabia, up to plus 5 degrees Celsius above normal, pushing highs towards those mid-30s, and keeping nights unusually mild where it matters for comfort and power use. Today, we'll be looking at the 7-day forecast between Feb 20th and 26th across the Arabian Peninsula. Average temperature versus normal. Then we're looking at the week's hottest daytime highs and the coldest overnight lows. We'll go region by region so you know where the heat's building, where nights are staying mild, and where that cool air is hanging on, especially that north and northeast hotspot. If you like global weather videos and you want to see more, please subscribe to the Weather Mapping YouTube channel and enjoy the video. So let's have a quick look at the variables so we're on the same page. Average temperature departure. Well, that is simply the forecast minus the normal for this time of year. So let's give an example. If your normal weekly average temperature is 22 Celsius and the forecast average is 26, that's a plus 4 degrees departure. If the forecast average is expected to be 20, that would be a minus 2 departure. Highest maximum temperature, very simple. That's just the highest daytime high that's expected to occur throughout the next 7 days. And lowest minimum temperature, that's again very simple, just the lowest minimum temperature that's expected to occur throughout that time period. In the late winter, a few degrees either way really matter. It changes cooling versus heating demand, workday heat load, how quickly the season starts to feel like spring, especially when those warm days are paired with mild nights. So let's have a look at the big picture pattern. The dominant signal is a warm core over the north and northeast and a cooler pocket over the southwest and Yemen. We've also got a clear contrast of north versus south, interior versus highlands, and Gulf side versus the far southwest. Let's have a regional breakdown looking at the temperature departures. The north and northeast, so northern Saudi, Kuwait, Iraq border, upper Gulf area, strongly warmer than normal. Most areas are sitting around plus 3 to plus 4.5 degrees Celsius departure. Some pockets even pushing near that plus 5 degrees towards the far northeast. For the central interior Riyadh region into the interior deserts, it's still warm but less extreme, generally between half a degree and 2.5 degrees departure, with that kind of warmest skewing north of the deep south interior. Looking at the Gulf Coast and the Gulf states into northern Oman, so eastern Saudi, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, northern Oman, mostly warmer than normal, but locally kind of near neutral. Most of the Gulf side runs between plus 0.3 and plus 2 degrees departure, with a few small near neutral spots around that 0 degree mark in places. Looking at the west and the Red Sea side, western Saudi, slightly warmer overall with some localized warm bumps areas, but many areas are kind of in that half a degree to plus 2 degrees Celsius departure, with some warmer pockets in that kind of northwest that are pushing into the threes. Looking at the southwest highlands and Yemen, so southwest Saudi, Yemen highlands, and nearby interior, cooler than normal. This is that kind of counterweight that we're looking at compared to the warm temperatures elsewhere. A broad area that's running -1 to -3 degrees departure, with that coolest core reaching roughly between -3 and -4 in the higher terrain and nearby interior. So let's look at the highest maximum temperatures for the upcoming week. This is the single hottest daytime high expected at any point throughout the next 7 days. It's not a daily average, it's the peak. So what's the big picture pattern here? The hottest peaks are concentrated over that northeast and parts of the Gulf side, with widespread low 30s across much of the peninsula. The coldest peak highs show up in that higher terrain and parts of the far south and southwest. Let's give another regional breakdown for this highest maximum. So, the northeast hotspots, this northeast Saudi into Kuwait, upper Gulf, Upper end heat for late February. Peak highs commonly in the 33 to 35 degrees Celsius, with that core sitting in the mid-30s. Gulf side, so eastern Saudi again, through Qatar, UAE, into northern Oman, consistently hot afternoons, still very warm. Most of the areas are between 31 and 33 degrees Celsius, with some interior pockets pushing plus 34. Moving into central Saudi, sort of the broad interior, it's hot, but a bit of a step down from that northeast. The typical peaks are running between 30 and 32 degrees Celsius, with a lot of the territory clustered near 31 degrees. Western Saudi and the Red Sea side, kind of down towards the southwest. We got a warm west with a couple hotter interior corridors, mainly between 31 and 34, while nearby elevated areas sort of dip lower. In the southwest highlands and the Yemen high terrain, it's noticeably cooler for these daytime peaks. Peak highs are often between 24 and 28 degrees, locally in the upper 20s, well below the kind of the Gulf and the northeast, where we were seeing those plus 30 degrees highest maximums. The southern and southeast coasts around the Arabian seaside are warm, but tempered by that coastline. So common peaks are running between 26 and 30 degrees Celsius, with nearby inland zones warmer than the shoreline. Moving on to lowest minimum temperature, this is the coldest overnight low expected at any point throughout this 7-day period. Big picture, coldest nights are focused over the northwest, parts of the interior, while the Gulf and coastal zones hold a much milder nights. The southwest highlands are also a pocket of notably cooler nights compared to the surrounding coastlines. Again, let's give a regional breakdown for this lowest minimum. The northwest, far northwest Saudi, coldest nights on the map. Lowest mins dropping to roughly 3 to 7 degrees Celsius, with the cold core near 3 to 5 degrees. Northern belt into the northern interior, chilly but not extreme, most areas seeing lowest minimums between 6 and 10 degrees. The central interior, including much of Saudi's interior, cool nights but typical kind of desert range, lowest minimums between 9 and 13, with some spots kind of a little warmer, between 12 and 14. For the Gulf Coast and the Gulf states into northern Oman, mild nights, less overnight relief from the heat. Lowest minimums are commonly between 13 and 18 degrees Celsius, locally the upper teens along the warmest coastal corridor. The southwest highlands and Yemen high terrain, cooler nights are returning in those higher elevations, lowest minimums between 2 and 7 degrees in cool pockets, with nearby lower elevations running slightly higher. For the southern coast, for the Red Sea, far south, and the Arabian seaside, warmest nights overall. Lowest minimums are commonly between 18 and 22 degrees Celsius, and locally above 20 degrees right along parts of the coast. So what are the impacts? What's likely versus what's conditional? So what's likely? Higher cooling demand across the north and northeastern Gulf side, because the warm afternoons paired with mild nights in many coastal areas are going to lead to a higher cooling demand. More heat load for outdoor work in the low 30s to mid 30 degree zones, especially where peak highs cluster. For the big day-night spreads inland, warm days with cooler nights in the interior can affect comfort, scheduling, and hydration planning. So what's a conditional impact? What could change the story? In the coolest northwest and high terrain pockets, clear skies and light winds could make nights feel colder than the actual numbers suggest, creating some localized cold stress in sheltered spots. If the warm pattern comes with stronger winds, the combinations can raise dust and haze risks, which can reduce visibility and worsen air quality, even without a major temperature change. If you'd like to see more global weather breakdowns, please like this video and subscribe to the Weather Mapping YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters!